Summer is over, the fall has kicked in, and the games won't stop coming till the calendar says bye-bye. So it's a beautiful thing that Nintendo has so many awesome new Switch sales. This list full of some absolute must-buys. I cannot wait to share these lowest price ever deals with all of you. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce, the one time a week where you don't have to look at my face. It's our Switch sale update. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below what games you're targeting, which ones you'd recommend to a friend, and smash that like button if you enjoy saving on your Switch stuff. We got 3 Amazon titles and then some epic eShop adventures. Dudes and dudettes, I got a slew. I got a 5-pack of games that are must-buys at their prices. Holy cow, I love these games. But let's start off with one on Amazon that I love as well, Darksiders Genesis. This is fantastic. It is the birthplace of lonely co-op where you get to play 2 characters by yourself. You can do it with a friend, but if you're like me and don't have many of those, you can grab it for $26, 35% off at Amazon. A fantastic game. Fantastic. I like it super much at this price point, and I think it is a wonderful time to enjoy a little bit of action with War and Strife. You can also then continue your adventures and play the other Darksiders games on the platform. A great way to kick off this video. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 is $15 physical. That is a 50% savings. It's been cheaper digital, but if you like to have those red game cases on your shelf and you're excited for the NBA Finals, Lakers vs. Celtics, Lakers vs. Heat, get in on it right now. The game isn't as good as NBA Jam of yesteryear, but it's a solid title, and $15 for a physical copy ain't so bad. Next up, it's the Banner Saga Trilogy on Nintendo Switch. This is one I'm actually considering for my own pickup. It is $19.74, which puts it at 34% off. This compiles all 3 Banner Saga games. That's why it's a trilogy. Interestingly, published by Gearbox over here on Nintendo Switch. They are very beautifully hand-drawn and masterfully created strategy games. The turn-based combat is difficult. Characters will die. There's permadeath. You'll lose them, and you have a whole lot of story options as you play through this wonderful tale. I don't know if I can stomach all 3, but I've heard that the 3rd one is really, really great, so I kind of want to grab it. Let's take our talents to the eShop where SUPERHOT is $15. 40% off till October the 4th, the lowest price it's ever been, and every game on the rest of this list is lowest price ever. I hook it up. I'm not showing you the sales where you can save $6, I'm showing you the sales where you can save the most you've ever saved. This game is fantastic. The game moves as you move, and you're trying to take out these crystal framed characters with your swords and your guns, your bullets and your brains. It is a puzzly shooter unlike anything else. Absolutely must play. $25 was a lot on Switch when it launched, considering it's an oldish game, but $15, ooh, please buy it. And also, please buy BRAWLOUT. I love this game. $5. $5, that's 75% off till October the 1st, the lowest it's been. It is a Super Smash Bros. Clone with quirky characters, but at $5, this is cheaper than a new fighter in the Smash Bros. Ultimate title, and you get an entire game, including characters from Guacamelee, Dead Cells, Hyper Light Drifter, and Yooka-Laylee, plus some original characters and creations. It's fantastic fun. A great brawler, a great time, something that you can get in and get out, grab a few fights with some new movesets, some awesome character graphics and ideas, and, some indie relevance with some picks that they've put on the roster. I like this one a lot, and I recommend it heavily. BULLETSTORM Duke of Switch Edition is another title that I really miss. It's the whole genre that I miss, because the campaign shooter is something that kind of lost its effectiveness and lost its popularity this generation, but they brought it back for Nintendo Switch. $749, that's 75% off till October 14th. Of course, the lowest it's ever been. This one includes Duke Nukem if you want to play as him, but hey, just play the original game. That's totally fine. Grayson Hunt will carry you through the quest. It's all about building the best score meter with the craziest and most chaotic kills. I really like BULLETSTORM when it initially released back on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It has skipped a generation to Switch, but it still holds up, and it's $749. Ooh, a great throwback to a genre, the campaign shooter, that I hope comes back. All sorts of interesting, quirky weapons, a really fun time. Super Crush KO is one of the top arcade titles on the platform. This game was criminally overlooked earlier this year when it released. $9.99, 33% off till October the 1st. It is taking Graceful Explosion Machine, one of SwitchForce's cream of the crop picks from the OG era of eShop titles back in 2017. Super Crush KO evolves that format into a side-scrolling beat-em-up with bullet hell mechanics and big bosses. Completing the level with a perfect combo is so satisfying. It's just as much about navigating the levels as it is about puzzling your way from enemy to enemy. You have to avoid, yes, you have to defeat, yes, but it's getting in that rhythm and making sure you establish the flow. Lightning fast, quick decisions, and so much ability to chain your attacks and chain your feel-good feelings. I love this game. Plus, you're trying to save your cat. Who doesn't want to save your cat in 2020? Super Crush KO gets an absolute seal of mega approval. Untitled Goose Game is $14.99. That's 25% off till October the 7th. Another fan favorite, all about a rotten honker. This one isn't seen as big of a sale as some of the other titles we talked about, but it might just be a must-buy as well. It's lowest price ever, and they have now added a new cooperative mode. So the game's on sale to support you and a friend getting in and playing double duck action, aka goose action, but goose doesn't rhyme with doubles. That's okay. Single Joy-Con support for both players. New goose, new honk, still horrible. You're solving all these little challenges and trying to cause trouble and wreck people's days, but in a pretty comically mischievous way. Nothing too evil. It's rated E for everyone should honk, and I think you should too. I want to talk to you guys about a Square Enix sale that's going on, but I'm not going to highlight the games individually because Square hates us using their trailers. I don't understand why. There's these companies that don't want their trailers being shown, and I'm just trying to promote your games, but that's okay. Instead, I'll tell you that they've got a lot of stuff on sale. A lot of it's not best price ever. A lot of the Final Fantasy stuff is like medium price ever. But if you're into Square stuff, a lot of their titles are on sale. Okay, back to our list. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 is $10.49, 33% off. That's the lowest it's ever been, and until October 7th, you can grab this throwback brought to the modern era. I love that they created a brand new NES game, and yes, lots of companies do this, but Inta Creates does amazing work with this franchise, and Bloodstained has kind of become the Castlevania of the modern era, and at first it seemed like it would be a terribly executed facsimile, and instead it's actually really, really good and a nice evolution. I have yet to pick this game up, which is a bummer because I love the first one, so I'm going to grab it at $10.49. You might want to as well. If you want to get the original game, it's only $5. That puts it at a 50% discount till October the 7th. It's, still very, very good. And if you want to dive a little bit of dough into the title instead of double the price at $10.49, maybe grab this one. And then if you like it, you can end up getting both games for the price of one. Multiple characters make these very fun and keep your combat fresh. The side-scrolling graphics, yes, they're simple, but the colors are vibrant, and I love the old school UI. Blaster Master Zero, $4.99. A very OG Switch game that is now 50% off till October the 7th. This one came out on launch day. I believe it was very, very close to the inception of our favorite little system. Blaster Master Zero sees you side-scrolling in a tank and outside of a tank, but maybe you want to grab the newer title. Blaster Master Zero 2 is only $1 more. 40% off till October the 7th. For $5.99, you can get the upgraded version that has brought in new characters and was released a few years later, aka in 2019. I think these games are fun. I don't think they're fantastic, but if you like sort of side-scrolling old school stuff and the tank action of the Blaster Master makes you happy, it's a great price. 80 days, my good sir, $2.59. 80% off till October the 3rd. Perfect. 80 days, 80% off makes sense. This is a mobile game, but on the Switch, $2.59 is now half the price of the mobile title, so we gotta consider it. This is a very well-regarded game. In fact, it was Time Magazine's #1 game of the year in 2014. What the heck? Can you believe it? It's a race with an in-game clock as you're trying to go around the world, all right? By airship, submarine, camel, steam train, and more. It has really unique art and will be a nice strategic challenge as you try to navigate this steampunk world and get a narrated story with a lot of twists and turns. It's pretty darn cool, and it's much more of like an interactive novel than it is an action game. Make sure you understand that. But at $2.59, I think you're gonna have fun. Sunless Sea Submariner Edition is $11.99. That puts it at 40% off till October the 7th. The lowest it's been. This game ain't for me. It's too complicated. There's too much going on. But for those of you that like the depths of the sea and depths of your strategy games. There's a lot to love here. It's been very well reviewed. You get control over so much of your ship, your adventures. It's kind of like an old school RPG, and it just isn't for me, but I know a lot of people really appreciate it, and this is the game plus the expansion at a good price on Switch, a great portable title if you do like to dip your toes in those type of tough waters. UNDERHERO was trying to do Paper Mario before Paper Mario and the before Paper Mario and the Origami King. This game is much more like Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. It's not anywhere near as good, but at $8.49, 50% off, it's the lowest it's been. You might want to give it a go. It has action-based combat like the Paper Mario titles, but it's much more of an RPG than the modern release. So if you're into that sort of thing, this could be a fun game. It does have a slow start, and it's not as charming as what Nintendo has put out, but I think there is a good amount to love here. It released about 7 months ago, and now is half the price. ICONOCLASTS is a game I've never played. $7.99, 60% off till October the 8th. This is one that has got a lot of love as a Metroidvania with a lot of big bosses, a bunch of platforming challenge, and really nice art. It released back in 2018 from Joachim Sandberg, who has a lot of design chops. I follow him on Twitter, and he's got plenty of good ideas, so I really should play this game. I don't know how I missed out on it. It was very well reviewed and very well received when it released, and I'm sure it'd be fantastic on Switch. So if you're looking for something in that genre, maybe give it a go. We've got TOWAGA, Among Shadows, for $7.49, 50% off till October 14th. This is a beautiful game. Goodness gracious, those graphics, they sing to my soul. It's a simplistic idea as you stand in the center of the screen and try to knock back your enemies. This has been done, like, in mobile games a lot, but I will congratulate TOWAGA for having a phenomenal name that just gyrates in your mouth with much deliciousness, and it's absolutely beautiful. So you'll be utilizing this beam attack to keep all the enemies at bay. It's very arcadey in its tactics, and it looks a little bit simplistic. I don't know if I would ever pay $15 for something like this, but with as pretty as it is, $7.49 feels a lot more palatable, and I might have to dip in. All right, we've got Hue, $4.99. 50% off for a colorful adventure until October the 14th. It's an award-winning puzzle title where you have to change the colors to progress and get through. They also have a colorblind mode, which is fantastic. Not even sure they pulled that off with the game all about the color wheel, but it apparently works really well, and that's a nice nod to accessibility. They made sure that the controls feel great on the Switch, and the story is supposedly heartfelt, touching on love, loss, existence, and remorse. A whole bunch of beautifully realized puzzle planet screens, some nifty characters, and again, a little boy just trying to get by. A couple more. We got Velocity 2x or 2x, which is really, really good. Sometimes you're on foot, sometimes you're in ship. You know, Blaster Master puts you in tank, and on foot, this game puts you in ship and on foot. I played a lot of this when it launched back in 2018. It is $4.99, 75% off till October the 14th, and I recommend it a lot. It is a pretty action game where you are side-scrolling, surviving, and then top-down ship shooting, and you know, there's a lot to really enjoy. Velocity was a fun game, but I think Velocity 2x is a lot better, and there are new daily missions. I don't know if those are still being newly crafted, but it's fun that there's a bunch of campaign levels and then daily challenges for your online leaderboard obsession. Heavy Barrel, my friends. $1.99, 75% off till October the 8th. This is a game that I could never remember. There was this game I played as a kid on NES, and it was Heavy Barrel, but I could never remember what Heavy Barrel was. Like, I would always forget about Heavy Barrel. I could never remember the name. I mean, the name is super not memorable. It's super nondescript. It's so weird. And it's just basically a simple NES game where you're trying to shoot and survive, but I really, really liked Heavy Barrel as a kid, and the fact that multiple times I searched for this game back on the internet was far more lame, and I always found it, but it took a while. I love that Heavy Barrel is on Switch, and for $1.99, maybe you can relive my childhood for me. Snake Pass. Never the worst, never the last, but we saved it because it is a pinnacle title of our SwitchForce lore, a game that Gabe historically hated, and a game that I really loved. As you control Noodle and his manipulative body, you're gonna move this dude all around the poles and try to stretch him thin to seek out the goal. It's $5, down 75% off till October the 14th. This is like an OG Switch game. It came out launch month, and you know, it's very basic. There are 15 levels, and you're trying to collect these different coins and basically try to navigate these interesting puzzles with your physics-based snake, and at times it can feel almost impossible but I think there's a weird charm to it, and it just holds a special place in my heart as one of the OG indie titles that we covered on the channel and had very interesting discussions about, and I just like Noodle. If you like Noodle, might want to grab it. But this list has so much greatness that you probably don't need to grab Noodle. I so recommend SUPERHOT at 15, BRAWLOUT at 5, Super Crush KO at 10, and even BULLETSTORM Duke of the Switch Edition at 749. Plus, as you continue down the list, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon getting some sales, Blaster Master getting discounts as well. There's a lot to really like here, including ICONOCLASTS for $7.99. But let me know what you're going to pick up in the comments down below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video and love finding out what Switch games are cheap to save you money so you can put it towards Hyrule Warriors, which looks awesome. Not sure if you guys saw the TGS gameplay deep dive, but it looks so much better than the first. Age of Calamity, I'm ready for it on November 20th. In the meantime, let's save some coin and let's get some of these cheap games. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Until that time, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart out there. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. SwitchForce out.